Okay, I'm joined here by Boreham Chairman Danny Hunter. First of all, how are you?
I'm fine, Dom. How are you?
Good, thank you. We're glad to hear it. So the last time you were interviewed in the Glass House was in July of last year. Fair to say, a lot has changed since then. We're now in the National League South, but things are starting to look up in our push for promotion. What are your current thoughts and feelings regarding both what's happening on the pitch and around the club at this moment?
Um, okay. It's been a year of failure. So, I know you've just said, things are okay or whatever it is, but it's not. Whether we like it or not, we've experienced, a huge setback. Probably the biggest setback we've had for more than a decade, and so we've got to deal with that. And hopefully, what you're now seeing is the fact, it is not a comeback, but the fact is we're returning to a semblance of normality again. We're starting to put wins on the board. Things around the club are progressing, staff-wise, department-wise, is all going well, and obviously we're up to second, so that's why people think things are going well. But you have to put that into context of a relegation, and 18 months ago we was in the playoffs, to go to the Football League. So it's still a long way to go.
And you mentioned up to second and the progression. Since we last sat down together in October, quite a bit has happened. We've had Leyton Orient here. We've seen wins over Truro and Farnborough, 3-0 derby win over St Albans City. But we're now unbeaten in our last 9 with 5 wins and 5 in all competitions, 1 point off Torquay in pole position at the time of recording this. What does this say about the side, the coaching staff, but in particular Luke, despite what happened last season with our relegation and him being away from the club for some time, seems to have got the footballing wheels turning again?
I don't think it says anything. It's a long road, 46 games. There's a lot of there's a lot of water under the bridge to get to this stage. We're not even halfway through. So no, we've just got to deal with ourselves, really. We know we've got a good squad. I know I've got a good manager. I know the staff are motivated and are on an even keel. But it don't mean anything if you get to 20th of April, 26th of April, and you're not promoted. So, okay, it's we've made a reasonable start. But the next 2 games will define how we finish 2024 off, and obviously if we can go and get ourselves 6 points or 4 points from the next 2, it'll set us up nicely for 2025 and a run at the title. But it's so early, Dom. You're only talking about the football side. There's so many other things that have happened for the club and what we've been working hard to achieve. So, off the pitch, we're probably now as successful as we've ever been, and they're also the things, the building blocks that you have to put together if you want to go and be a National League club and beyond, and that's what I've been doing.
And just how important will, sticking to our process, club togetherness, believing in club ethos and values become the turn in the new year all the way to May and, well, possibly all the way to April and, well, possibly May if we are to achieve promotion back to the National League at the first time of our scene?
Well, again, you talk about a process there as if it's just football. The progress of this football club isn't reliant on 800 supporters coming through the gate. If we did that, we would be, a bottom 4 or 5 club in the National South. Our progress and our whole base has been building a club from the bottom up for over 25 years since I've been here. And again, to do that, you've got to have a varied income streams. You've got to have a strong academy, strong education and sports program. You know, I've got my partners. Hartsmere Borough Council I work closely with. Elstree and Boreham Town Council I work closely with. Arsenal and Arsenal Women I work closely with. We've got loyal sponsors. The first team is only a byproduct of everything else we build, because now it means that we can go into this season, we can have a strong budget. The facilities, all the building blocks we've put in place over 20 years. You know, the pitch, it's £1 million pitch. The staff, they don't, you know, to have the type of staff that we've got, it doesn't just happen. You know, that takes years and years and years. And the loyalty from so many people locally within the club, and from our partners at Arsenal and the council, it's hugely important to where we want to go. So if we don't manage to get promotion this year, the club suddenly won't stop progressing. It will progress with or without promotion. But as you know, if you keep knocking on the door, if you keep doing the right things, if you do believe in processes, the door will open. And I just, I'm in a hurry for it to open at the end of April and us to march back to the National League. But there's a lot of, as I say, there's a lot of water under the bridge still to go before we can achieve that.
So, would you be able to provide us any update with recent meetings with Arsenal?
Recent meetings with Arsenal. We have meetings all the time. Yeah, I can update you. Funny enough, I'm meeting Arsenal for lunch today. A lot of the discussions, obviously, about Europe and the ladies and the lads. We've signed off on 2 10-year contracts, which will be announced any day now between our media, which will be you and Arsenal's media team. What else can I tell you? The work at the south end of the ground, which I'm looking to work in partnership with, firstly, Hartsmere Borough Council. I'm hoping that will progress and we'll start that in late summer 2025. And then in terms of the new south stand, which will mirror the north bank, I'm hoping we can start that in late spring 2026. Again, Arsenal are in the conversation, but predominantly it's really about the club, the ambitions I've got for the town, me putting a few bob in and seeing where it takes us. But on all of those things already, as you know, our floodlights are good, our training facilities are good. We've got £1 million pitch. We've completed three sides of the ground. We've now got new access roads and broadcast compounds and everything else already done. So 2 10-year contracts. Partnership's never been stronger. Got great relationships down at Arsenal with Richard Garlick and the hierarchy. And that will just continue. And again, the other side of it is obviously I'm in regular conversations with, the leader of the council, the local councillors and Hartsmere Borough Council, just to make sure, because the most important part of what we're doing is got to make sure that this club sits in the heart of its community. And again, round Meadow Park, we've got to make sure that the park users and the residents are also looked after. So, as I say, the conversations are in full swing.
Yeah, and you mentioned the club sitting at the heart of the community. This season, we've already had a few community initiatives with regards to tickets. Can we expect to see more of those come New Year?
Yeah, we have a community department, so they go into schools. I think today we've also got the annual MenCat Day. I know the first team players and the staff and everyone are going down to the day centre. Those initiatives are just, they're peas and carrots now for the club. It's what we want to do. It's what we will do. Again, Saturday we've got Ladies' Day. So again, another initiative for the women and the girlfriends and the partners and the girls, because, they're the ones who really put all the work into Christmas. And without them, you don't have a Christmas dinner and you don't have the parcels and the presents wrapped and they deal with all the, let's be honest, they deal with all the organisation and we piggyback on the back of them.
And another subject I want to touch on is our BW Pays Academy. We've recently had 3 academy players, Adam Morley, Keanu Fleming, and Daniel Isaac, go on loan or dual registration with Leverstock Green. Have you had an opportunity at all to look into those lads for what? And are you at all excited for what they could potentially do in the future and whether they could play a bigger part for the club?
Um, I've got to be honest, they're good lads. There's a huge gap between them being on loan at Leverstock Green and being able to push for a starting position in this squad that's going for promotion. Um, the great thing about the academy, it gives people an opportunity. And if you give boys an opportunity, it gives them the chance to see how far they can go. Last Saturday, Iliman Ndiaye was playing up top for Everton at the Emirates. He spent 3 years there, and he started exactly the same as them. So I don't want to kill their dreams or ambitions, but at the end, they'll have to push themselves. They'll have to find, um, you know, ability that they didn't even know they had. But again, attitude, discipline, and desire, it can take you a long way in life as well as football. And they've got all those 3 attributes. So let's see how far they go. But no, again, the sports education program that we've put together, we've got 280 boys with us this year, and I fully expect us to to go on and improve again for the next academic year. So no, the academy's going well now.
And do you think they provide the latest good examples of our player pathway?
Well, the examples are everywhere. You've got some boys who maybe don't have their ability, but they turn up every day. They're getting on the buses, they jump the trains, and they work hard. So it's not just about will they become footballers, will they go on to university, will they become upstanding members of their community, because there's life lessons when you come here. Don't be late, be polite, put as much work into the academic side as the football side. So, they're 3 lads that you've highlighted on the football side, but we've got numerous boys that are equally, worthy of a mention. So, no, as a whole, the academy, is a worthwhile venture, and I've been doing it for over 22 years. So, when I first started it, no one believed in it. And of course, with Sauber Thomas in Nantes in France, and with numerous boys playing good levels of football. Ben Goodliff is down at Colchester. Iliman is at Everton, and but there's examples everywhere.
And another subject that the fans watching this may be interested for your input on some of your recent programme notes. You've touched on further improvement of the squad. Obviously, since the start of the season, we brought in Jaden Richardson and John Benton, who have both made positive impacts. Are we still looking to add 1 or 2 quality players to the squad? And if so, are you able to touch on where we stand on that? Any particular areas in the pitch we're looking into and current processes we're going through to make it happen?
No, when it comes to recruitment, that's really Charlie Hunter and Luke's domain. They're fully aware that we might need to tweak it with 1 or 2. And again, our squad's strong. We've gone on this recent run. We're top of the form guide, and we haven't had Charles Claydon or Erico to call upon. I believe they're both fit for this Saturday. So Luke has a 19, 20-man squad to choose from. Good luck with that. Again, the January transfer window is nearly upon us. And so we've got to see. At the end of the day, you can't stand still. What we've got to be is ready for the rainy day. And again, obviously our run of form, also coincides with Quez's, hot run of goals. I think he's got something like 15 in his last 17 starts. Are we looking to improve? Of course we are. You can see the difference Richardson and Benton have made. And again, if an opportunity comes, and Luke and Charlie think they're the right people, then I'll find the money and I'll back them. And I think that's what good chairmen should do. But they're the ones you really need to ask on that. My job's to pay and to fund and But again, we know what we're doing, and let's see what happens.
And on to Saturday's game against Tunbridge. Obviously, it's a ladies' day, which you've already touched on. Obviously, a great community initiative in which all women and girls could get free admission for the game. We do it annually, but could you just go into more depth about why we do it and how much we value the women and girls that come to our games?
Um, it started 2-3 years ago. It really came about our sort of ladies' support increased, and so it was really a case of trying to find something which showed our appreciation, and it's gone from there. So I think there's a karaoke and cocktails and all sorts for Saturday. I think if they belt a tune out on the karaoke, they get a free drink. But it's really just a bit of fun and our way of saying thank you. And also the ladies support and the women's support and the girls support. They're very loyal, bit opinionated sometimes, but it's fun, and it's good to obviously have the girls here, and hopefully they'll make their partners and husbands and boyfriends spend a few bob. But it's really about just having it's near Christmas. It's 4 days, before Christmas Day, in the main, if it's anything like my family, they've bought the presents, wrapped the presents, they've done the shopping, they'll cook the Christmas breakfast, they'll do lunch, and they'll make the evening, go with a bang. So it's, as I say, just a very, very small thank you from us for the work they do.
And finally, Chairman, before our final game before Christmas, do you have any Christmas wishes you'd like to share with the Wood fans watching this?
No, I mean Christmas is a it's a time for families and loved ones and partners and memories. For those young families, it's fantastic. As you get to my age, it's not quite the same. But no, I just wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. And so there's not really a message. They all know it's also a tough time for those who've lost loved ones, recently. But again, that's the same for any New Year. And I just hope that we can give them, a title or promotion, and put ourselves back in the National League. But we're a long, long way from there. And they've stuck with us. They've stuck with me. And wouldn't it be great to reward them, come the end of the season, knowing that, we made a mistake last year, we got ourselves relegated, but boy, did we come back and give it a go. And that's all we can do. We'll do our best to give them a fantastic 2025.